Morning, students. Once again, we are going to start the topic of banking. What we have heard in the previous class, we have started the banking. We have understood what is bank, meaning of bank, what is the advantages. We have several things we have understood about the bank. But now we are going to finish up this topic today. After listening this, you will come to know complete the process of the bank in the banking lesson. So we will start again from the functions of bank. The functions of bank, which we start from the page number 154. That is the functions of bank. You can, while listening to me, also you can refer the textbook, and you can also have a look on what is going on in the function. As you know that every customer, he visits to a bank, he has in a particular, the deal with the bank, that transaction with the bank. So what is that function? That first we see there are 10 functions that is involved in the banking lesson, that which began from the accepting deposit from the public and others. The first and foremost thing is accepting the deposits from public and also from the others. This is the foremost important function of the bank, where the money is going to be deposited with the bank. Whatever the transaction in your day-to-day life to make it off, then you need to bring that amount towards the bank and deposit in the bank. Not only the public, and also we can see there are several sectors like privatized sectors, business sectors, and agriculture, and also we could see there are n number of sectors which are able to come across to deposit the money in the bank. This is what we see in this here. So even a person who is working, if he is having money, even is also where he can keep the money, he can deposit towards the bank. The most important function of the bank is to keep deposit for the public money. And another thing, when they keep deposit with them, it is not only that bank is going to keep the money with them. The same money, again, it is being circulated towards the different purposes. This is another function. We call it as a lending. Your money is distributed for various products and plans. That is a lending money to public in the form of loans, which is we call as the loans, which is we can call this as the loans. There are several people who involved in the depositing money, and also there are many people who are waiting to get the loan from the bank. This is one of the very important functions of the bank, whereas bank is dealing with the loans and is earning the profit interest from the public. Whereas people have a lot of needs in their life. As I told you, people come for deposit, people come for withdrawal, people also come for the loan system. This is the bank lends the money for interest, for various plans and the purpose of the deposit. We see that as in the form of loans. And we will learn about the loans. Different kinds of loans are there. Repayment is also there, but it is one of the function of the bank. Collecting money to checks and drafts and bills. The another function of the bank is collecting money, not only in the form of only table cash or it's in a physical cash. Also, there are checks, DDs. Okay. There are checks, DD also available in a bank. In the form of money, they collect it. Demand draft. It is called as the demand draft. People can also bring a physical cash. Also, they can make a check payment. They are also going to deposit through the DDs. This is another function. Discounting of bills, collecting of money, hiring and safe deposit lockers. Locker is a facility which is given by the bankers. This is another bank function, lockers, where I said you that your important asset you can maintain in the bank lockers for the purpose of maintaining the security. So you need to have a locker from the bank to get an advance, security for your all important, the property papers, or it's a gold, or it's any other kinds of any of them. Conducting foreign exchange transactions. Here, exchange of money will take place. Bank is a place where an exchange of money, currency exchange. This is another important. People who are NRI, people who reside, like a person from a house is working in a abroad company and they want to send the money to the country. Okay, so India, so they need to, sometimes the foreigner come to India, so they need to be an exchange of currency is very important. So every bank has an important function to exchange of their currency. This is another function of the bank receipt. And also we say issuing letters of credit and guarantee. Okay, whenever there is we hire or we take any like we can call it as when you deposit a money, you will get a complete bond paper. When you get in the form of, it is called as the debentures. It is called as the form of debentures. When you're investing money in a bank for any of the mutual funds or any of the other, any one of the deposit investment you are going to do with the bank, then bank is going to give you one guarantee of receipt. It's a form of bond or something. That will be your guarantee that you are having a security for your deposit amount, and in the certain maturity time you are going to get with a return with an interest. That is one of the important function. And these all are like government is going to control all over the functions of the banks. Okay, this is the bank function. You see the relationship between bank and customers. What is the relationship between bank and the customers? See, there are generally we can have two categories of the relationship. There we can understand the two types. One is like general relation, one is special relation. Okay, one is general relationship and another is special relationship, where you can have the bank, general and special. Why there is a general and special relationship between services from between the bank and customer? Bank and customer, why there is a two categories? But what it comes in a general relation, when we see the general primary relation, like customer go to the bank, deposit the money and he go. Customer come to the bank and he withdraw the money and he go. You don't have any kinds of extra, special care over there. He comes and he goes. It's just like a general walkthrough to the bank. And it is like completely, he is a beneficiary and they are a bank people. They need to give a service and giving the service. That is kind of only general relationship. When it comes to the special relationship, okay, so it's very nominal relationship. It's very just nominal. But here, for all your transaction, you will get a special care. You will get a special care. In that obligation to honor checks and also obligation to maintain secrecy of accounts. Here in special case, you will be like when you pass any checks, also to maintain the secrecy of your account. Banker they don't want to display what is your complete transactions, what is your balance, what is the details of your account, how much you are earning from what. They are not going to give just ordinary to anybody. They won't give a report. It's their secrecy. It is in the special customer. Okay. So whereas general customer, like nominally this customer is holding what, it is like completely in the day report it can be mentioned. But while you are giving a check to somebody, for example, you are giving a check of like a 50 lakh check. This is a somewhat big amount. See, this 50 lakh amount, it generally cannot be passed. Simply it cannot be passed without inquiring you. If some case it is not, it may happen in a present condition. Okay. For example, you may be like sending in a check of 5 lakh rupees, but somebody is trying to fraud it by a 50 lakh rupees check. Okay. So at that case, what the banker will do, the banker will take when the check comes of 50 lakhs piece of check, so they will call to a particular customer and they will ask, sir, we got a 50 lakh rupees of check, whether it is sent by you, signature is yours, can be verified, the re-verification quality. So are you sure that this is from you? Then whenever he says confirm, yes, this is from me. What is the person name? Everything they will tell the details. and they will take the time to withdraw that amount of 50 lakhs from your account. So if in case it is a fraud, then it can be stopped here itself. That wrong person or that person who is trying to make a fraud can be held here. So this is like in special case. This is one of the special way of care from this is called the relationship between bank and customer. This is very essential, which is required. Banks give us several services. Bank has given us several services because bank offers many services to its customers. Many services to its customer. For example, today we see, every one of us, we are having today as we see, the debit cards, the credit cards, correct? The debit cards and the credit cards. As we all know that we have both the cards. We are using both the cards. Here we see, these cards are very essential for bank transactions. Without them, with this, we are able to get a good service. So many cases, customer is not possible to go always for a bank for withdrawing money. But this is one of the best plan and service which is initiated by the foreign country, initiated again in India, and every bank in India is following the debit card system. This is one of the service which is in the form of a debit card, which is in the form of credit card. We also see a debit card and credit card, it is in the form of where we can use its services for the purpose of different utilization of our day-to-day activities. So this is one of the service. Again, personal loans. Again, we can say as the personal loans, home and vehicle loans. Mutual funds. There are many services which can be seen from the bank. That is debit card, personal loan, and home loan and vehicle loan. There are services which are education loan, marriage loan, and for the purpose of construction loan. There is different purpose of business loans. All these are the services which is offered by a bank. Today many people are making their dreams come true by the bank services. See, it is very difficult for a normal people who earn 20,000 per month to maintain a own house, own vehicle, education, good education. It is not possible for a person who is earning 20,000. According to in India, there is a urban city salary is different, and the cities salaries are different, towns are different. Rural area, every area we see today, people's life is changed. Their basic life is changed. Their living style has changed. Their dressing style has changed. Their moving style has changed. Previously, people were using motorcycles, cycles, auto rickshaws, but now even in villages, people are preferring cars. They are preferring RCC houses. All this is they are getting services only because bank is giving the services. These offered services are utilized by a customer. Think, if bank is not there, then the needs of the people were difficult to meet because bank is collecting the EMI along with the interest, but yet it's giving a time period to pay it back. The lump sum amount given by the bank, but in a monthly collection will be collected from your monthly salaries. This is one of the good services. Safe deposit locker, trust services, signature guarantee, internet banking. This is all the services which is offered by the bank. Then we see the types of banks. Even in a banks, we have different types of banks. When we look after the banks, we can see that there are different types of banks which is only they are working for a purpose of particular things. You may be surprised to hear about bank. All banks are same. No, all banks are having a financial transaction, but all banks are not in the same, the financial services. They give a different services. We call it as there are one central bank, that is Reserve Bank of India. The one banker's bank is RBI. This is the one of the important. All the bank services which controlled by RBI, which all the transaction which is controlled by the RBI. Okay, so this bank has given a complete, this is called the central bank, this is also called as the central bank. For all bank controlling is in the hand of the RBI. Let us see, there is a commercial bank, industrial banks, and land development banks, and indigenous banks, and cooperative banks. Okay, there are commercial banks, industrial banks, indigenous banks, okay, and we see cooperative banks, okay, cooperative banks. See, all these are banks only, all these having money services only, but their work level is in a different form. They only work for a particular, commercial is only for commercial purpose, like business developments. Okay, we see the commercial banks are today influenced because of the commercial banks today we are able to make a lot of business implementation and development. And also industrial banks, today if there is any growth in the industry, because industrial bank is providing a financial assistance to those small scale industry, big scale industries and cottage industry, thus they are getting a service from this bank, indigenous bank and cooperative society. These all are under the bank itself, but they work under a different level. Okay, they have chosen a particular fields, and according to that they are working today and they are providing a facility towards the people. So anyhow, the motto is to give a financial assistance to the people who are in the need of all these things. So these are the banks which are different banks into the banks itself. But what about the, in the bank only we have again types of accounts. In the bank we have types of bank accounts. What is this? You might be surprised that every person is not same. Every account does not hold the same transactions. This has a difference. So therefore, even generally the bank accounts is also differed from one account to the another account. We see there are 4 types of accounts. The first is foremost used as the saving account, is a most preferable account, because most of the category of the people, they have the saving account. Okay. But when it comes to a somewhat special categorized, we go to the different account, that is the current account. Okay, the current account. This is a somewhat different account. Okay, we'll come to know what kind of account it is each and every one. So another account which is called as the recurring deposit account. This is the recurring deposit account. Okay, and the fourth one is, it is called as the term fixed deposit account. Term fixed deposit account. Okay. First we will come to know these 4 types of accounts are available in the bank. Let us see the first, saving account. The saving account is a purpose for all the people who get the salaried people. Salaried people. For example, people who are working at daily basis daily basis onwards, they will collect the money on the 30th day. They work for 30 days and then after 30 days they get their salary, but the salary is going to be credited towards the saving account. In any institution, it's a government rule that everyone must open an account in a bank. That's called saving account or salary account. So whereas from children accounts till to a student accounts, till to the pension accounts, till to an end of pension life, okay, people can utilize the saving account. Here there is no limit of age. So people from student life to up to pension, so they can all use the saving account. Okay, this is one of the important account which is in the running all to save the people. The saving account, you will come to know about advantages of opening a bank account. In that, we'll get to know why we need to have a saving account. Okay. The other thing, it is called as the current account. Is the current account. What is this current account? Okay. Today we know that many people are not salaried. There are many people who are business category people. This business category people who have a limitless transaction in their account. You know, they don't prefer a saving account because saving account has a limit for deposit and withdrawal. It might be like 1 lakh, 2 lakh. It's just more than that, it is not possible. They have extra charges. But whereas in current account, the opening of the current account, the charges is also different. And also the maintenance of current account is also different. Okay. See, for any business person who wants to transact more than like in a day lakhs together of amount, so that person is not preferable for saving account. Saving account is only initiated like 500 to it's 1000 rupees minimum balance. But here in current account, it starts from 10,000 to maximum like 50,000 minimum balance. It based on the different banks. Okay, it is based on the banks. Like Axis Bank has a different current account opening balance, and Axis, ICICI, and SBI all have a different maintaining balance. But all they have no limits because these people especially prefer for maintaining limitless transactions in a day. They can transfer money from one state to another state. They can transfer money from one place to another place in the form of check, DD, or the cash deposits. Okay, this is very easiest for all the business people who prefer the current account. Most of the income to the bank goes through the current account. Okay, then we come to the third account, that is the recurring deposit account. Okay, what is recurring deposit account? You know, generally people open this account for the purpose of future date. They will future date. Okay, it is like people who want a deposit are made regularly on the basis of monthly basis. You know, monthly, what they will do? They will save some money in this. For example, in their salary, they will make a deduction. 5,000, 2,000, 3,000. Monthly, they will make some deduction. Okay. Why they will do deduction? They will do for a certain years. Example, 10 years, 5,000 they deposited. For 10 years, 5,000 from every month from their account they saved here. And this is recurring deposit, and it is going to give them a maturity after 10 years. So up to 10 years they are not going to make any of the changes here. So what they will do in this recurring monthly, so on the basis of that, the interest rate will be given them more. When you make a recurring deposit account, you will get the interest from the bank. But you are not liable to take a money at any time you want. You need to make in a particular time. Okay. So there you want any emergency, you can break also. There's no condition like you cannot break. You can break also. But monthly basis, you are going to make some amount towards monthly cut-off from your salary. Then it comes to a fourth term fixed deposit account. Whereas in this, it is the fixed. It's a fixed amount. Okay. You're going to lock the amount for a certain. Like you have a extra money with you. You might have a 10 lakh rupees. This 10 lakh rupees is extra money with you. This 10 lakh you will keep in a bank. That is term fixed deposit. You will get a bond guarantee. After 10 for 3 years, okay, there is a limit. From 30 days it starts. 30 days, 90 days, okay, 120 days, 150 days. It goes from every 30 days, 60 days, it increases. So you can, based on the days, you will get the term, okay, your fixed interest also. Based on your term. In this you cannot break. Once you lock it for an example, you lock it for 24 months. Okay. So 24 months, 10 lakh rupees is locked. After 24 months, along with the interest, your amount is going to be deposited back to your account. So this is like one of the fixed deposit account. Then finally we come towards the advantages of bank account opening. Okay, what is the procedure to open the bank account and what happens when we open a bank account? What we get a profit for them? Okay, see, most of the people we earn, but when we don't, we only earn. We earn and spend. Okay. Question is, today as you know that Corona is uncertain. Corona is uncertain. You know, all these years we earn the money, we spend the money. The question comes, if you had, okay, uncertain Corona condition like this today, what is happening in across the country? See, you don't have any saving account. You haven't opened an account till now. Tell me, do you have money with you? Do you have money? When you have earned, you have spent. But you don't have a saving account. So therefore, you don't have any opportunity. You don't have any opportunity to spend. So you will have a suffering in your life when you don't have a saving in your life. When you don't have a saving in your life, then you will not have the proper functioning of life. You don't have advantage to spend the money. So it is very important for any people to have a bank account. Therefore, every person is encouraged to open a bank account. Okay, we need the bank account gives you an acceleration for your amount to be saved. Okay, and also we say that helps in collection of money, holds the advantage getting. When you save the money there, even you can also get loans whenever you want, and also it gives you an account that gets an advance loans. Sometimes you have deposited 55,000, 10,000, 50,000. You can get an extra amount. Sometimes you can get an advance amount because you are having a saving account, and your financial needs will be done very smoothly here. And also it can be safe. You can get a safe deposit locker also, where you can utilize. By having a bank account, you can have a safe deposit locker also. If you don't have a saving account, you don't have a current account, then you will not get any other facilities for your purposes of today. So hope you understand what is the process of this banking lesson today. And finally, I'm going to conclude this, that how we can open a bank account. You need to go to a bank. You have to take a bank account opening form. You need to write a letter. You need to write a letter to the manager. It is a request letter which is already printed, inscripted in the bank itself. You need to have your Aadhaar card, have your PAN card, have your photograph, photocopies, passport size, and also along with your specimen copy of Xerox. You need to, in presence of you itself, at rupees of 500 to 1,000 rupees, you will get an account deposited to your. You can open an account. So once you have opened an account, you need to keep in mind that you have to follow that account regularly basis. You need to make a transaction at least 6 months once. If you don't keep activating, if you don't keep adding money in the bank for a period of 6 months, your bank, okay, it will be account will have a lapse transactions. So it becomes a deactivate. For a period of 1 year, you will be deactivated. Again, if it is not have any transaction, then it will be like they will make it to die, account die. They'll dead the account. Okay, so there are so many cases like it goes on for 1 year, 1.5 years, it may extend. Then the account has to be completely die. Okay, so this is like you need to open up account for a purpose to keep a regular savings. So the bank encourages us for all our day-to-day supplies. So bank is very important to understand. And one more thing I would like to inform you in this chapter, that is like today, most of the cooperative societies and postal banks, okay, there is a post offices, which is also, before the bank start, post office were started. The post offices also like they are working in the form of a bank in a society today. Whereas the history which say about the post office is being utilized for various purposes across the India to give us services to the people. whoever are in a rural area, who are in a town area and in a city, even the postal service is also there. Even there also saving account, okay, facility are available. You can open up your bank account in that also for of saving the money. Okay, so we see totally we have today 20 nationalized banks and 21 there are private banks. 20 nationalized banks and 20 nationalized banks and 21 private banks. 19 foreign banks which are consistent across the India. We have around 8,000 total 8,000 banks across the country. So this is like the overall information about the banking system. We see today there are banks very much helpful. You need to open up the bank's account for the purpose of your day-to-day activities. Hope this lesson has taught you a lot in your life. And I conclude this chapter. Thank you to one and all students. Watch and re-listen the topics again and again so that you can perfectly thorough with this chapter. So you can go through the textbook. Wherever you get any doubt, you can just once read the text lines so that you can compare to the explanation. Then you can be very expert to understand this. Thank you all of you. Thank you.